Yeet. Oh my god! Titanfall 2 is one of the best first-person shooters of the decade. We were marveled by the fluid movement, enthralled by the polished gameplay, and amazed by the seamless pilot-to-Titan combat that managed to coincide with each other. However, something went wrong. Sometime during Titanfall 2's life cycle, an event occurred that would later come back to haunt the player base. Its name is the Spitfire. January 20th, the year of our Lord 2017. At 10:54 a.m. on a Friday that would also see President Trump inaugurated, Jay Frechette, community manager at Respawn Entertainment, released the monthly patch notes, which had an interesting buff. The Spitfire, which had been comically bad for the first few months of the game, had received a damage buff. We, the player base, were too busy rejoicing about the Spitfire buff that we overlooked possible glaring issues involving its damage numbers and overall potentness. The Spitfire is one of the strongest guns, if not the strongest gun in the game right now. I could go on and on about statistics, but while making this video I realized how boring that would be. So I will put a link in the description to the sources I used to do a little bit more research on the weapon. A quick thing to note is, the Spitfire really wasn't too much of a problem post-buff until around the Halloween update. I was confused on why this was, but thanks to further research, I've discovered that in the months after the January 2017 update, many weapons such as the E8, Devotion, Hemlock, Volt, and DMR have all received major nerfs at some point after the aforementioned time. I'm not saying that these guns didn't need to be nerfed, but by connecting the puzzle pieces together, I noticed that so many things have been nerfed throughout the game's life cycle that it only made sense that the Spitfire would emerge as the top dog, since it had never really received any nerfs after the aforementioned buff, and had already been quite strong due to said buff. This has created a Spitfire superiority complex of some sorts, where the Spitfire is just simply too good due to the other weapons not having the ability to take it head on due to their previously mentioned nerfs. The Spitfire has plagued the Titanfall 2 community as the oppressive and unbalanced nature of the weapon has left many frustrated, as it does not have many counters. In a game that has incredible movement and level design, the Spitfire is a burden on that dream, as it cripples the movement and reduces it down to sitting on rooftops and hiding in bushes. Titanfall 2 already has a fairly quick time to kill, however the Spitfire makes that time to kill seem much faster due to its abhorrently high damage, meaning that pilots suffer a quick defeat where they don't get much of a chance to retaliate, which is very unforgiving and quite frustrating for many players, such as myself. I propose that the Spitfire receives a nerf, effective immediately, to cease the madness I like to call noobery. The Titanfall 2 community has had enough of dealing with opposing and friendly players resorting to belittle themselves by camping with this gun constantly and ruining other people's fun. Let me ask you this: if you were a new player who had just bought the game on sale or got it as a gift, would you like to get killed in 3 shots by an invisible guy sitting on a radio tower? Would you still play that game if every lobby you entered was just like I had described? Well, sadly, that game is Titanfall 2, the game that I hold so much love and passion for. So much, in fact, I made a video criticizing the game in hope that it brings change and removes the dark cloud that has hovered over this game, blocking the light, which is the workings of one of the best shooters that I have ever played. In conclusion, I love Titanfall 2. I love Respawn Entertainment, and most of all, I love all the great people I've met through playing the game. I do not want to see this game die out, nor do I want to see it reduced to a shell of its former self. There are other problems in Titanfall 2, melee, but I want to improve this game one step at a time. Please join me as we roll in unison to Respawn headquarters and pledge to make a difference. Let's nerf the Spitfire. Until mit dem Spitfire.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.